Does that make sense? Am I frozen? Nobody had a win this week.
I went Emerald.
Okay, awesome.
Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I went Emerald, and I'm already at Success Club 8. Well, 7, should be 8 soon. And then I had a really awesome phone call with a friend earlier who I thought was calling to talk to me about something entirely different, and ended up talking to me about Beachbody and wanting to know more, and then might get the All Access Challenge Pack. So it was a really, really good call. So, and that's just me like really pushing myself to be consistent, like over the last, just really for the last couple months probably. And I just suddenly I'm starting to see it like starting to pay off, which is really awesome.
My eyes are watering for you. I am. I'm so excited for you. All right, somebody has to make my night. That was awesome. I'm so excited. Tell me something else good.
I'll go.
Yeah, Danielle.
Can you hear me? Okay. Let me turn my volume up a little bit because I can't hear you very well. Like within the last 5 minutes, I just got a message back saying someone was interested in coaching, and I've been super hesitant about inviting people to that. Just have been really awkward about it. But so successful start there. So yeah.
Amazing conversation. That'll pump you up.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
One more. I want some goodness.
I checked off all my check boxes today, and I count that as a total business win.
Kidding. You ain't kidding. How long does it take to do your checklist each day?
Ranger. Sits.
I love Ranger.
Good boy. How long does it take me to do my checklist?
Yeah. I know that you have a lot going on every day with having a child and a business at the same time, but for you in the stage of your business, you guys, your team is 1-star qualifying, your Success Club All-Star, like you got everything going on. You're All-Star, right? Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that. How long does it take for you to get your work done?
If I wake up before Hunter does on purpose, like that I've been doing, I could probably knock it all out in 90 minutes. If I can have that uninterrupted time, laser focus, lightning, and have it done. But if I haven't done it all the day before, it takes me longer because then I don't have the same new people to be able to follow up with. And because the friend requests that I sent today will be the new people that I start, my interest in and commenting and posting and new messages with tomorrow. And so if I take 2 days off of not sending any new friend requests, then all of a sudden I don't have anybody new to start a conversation with. And I'm like, okay, well, gonna go have to find somebody to start talking to. And that takes a lot longer.
Like pumping the well. When you stop pumping, you're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Build the pressure back up and make sure it still flows.
So it definitely takes less time the more consistent that I am.
Mm-hmm. I ask you that because you are obviously one of the top coaches on our team, and a lot of people ask me that of how many hours do I work, and I kind of feel like I don't know if I love that question because it's different for everybody. I don't know how relevant it is. Could you get your work done in an hour or 2 a day and grow to a 6-figure business? The answer is yes. Why couldn't you? But the answer could also be, but it might take you longer.
Right. And that's where I'm at, and I've had to be okay with that, and that's what my pace has been. The first year and a half being full-time employed.
Yeah.
House. Plus. Being full-time employed and everything, I only had an hour a day. I had 30 minutes in the morning, 5 seconds at lunch, and, an hour at night maybe. Yeah. And that was including, eat, shower, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely possible, but it takes work.
Well, anyways, that was kind of a rabbit trail. But I just wanted to ask because I was like, ooh, Chelsea, I'm going to pick your brain. Jessica, I'm going to pass the reins to you because you had a question about content marketing. Can you expand on that? And then maybe we can all share some ideas. If you guys don't know what content marketing is, then Jessica's going to tell you.
Yes, content marketing. Am I echoing? Why am I echoing?
It's not echoing too bad for me.
I was echoing too at the end, which is why I stopped talking.
Okay. Wait, I'm not echoing anymore. Okay. It's so weird. Oh, actually, is it because of you? Okay. Anyways, yeah, so content marketing is just like, basically you want to be adding value to your Facebook. So whether it's like nutrition tips or recipes or I don't know, latest new stuff, because basically on your Facebook, people come there to learn, to socialize, and to something else. But anyway, so the learning part, like they want value off of it. And so just like where do you go to find good stuff that you can share that's valuable but also interesting to your target market? Like I think I have all these ideas, but then I just don't know how to really formulate it, or I don't know. Bleh. Does that make any sense?
Is there somebody in particular that you follow that you feel like has good content?
And I don't even know in particular if there's like someone. I used to follow Bonnie Angle a lot, but her, it's just like her face and like she just talks about stuff. But I want like more valuable stuff that's not just me saying stuff, but like, I don't know. Maybe, I hope I'm making sense.
I was frozen at the beginning of that, but I caught the end. What did you say at the beginning?
What?
What'd you say at the beginning? I was frozen.
Oh, I stopped following coaches.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine, by all means, because they know you need to keep your head down. Well, can I share some ideas that I've done?
Yeah.
The typical response that, like, you're not a new coach, Jessica, but any new coach that comes to me, actually on my Getting Started Right call that I was just on, the reason why I'm late, she said, well, what do I post? Because during our Getting Started Right call, I was like, hey, so a goal of mine is for you to start posting more frequently, maybe 3 times a day. She's like, well, what do I say? And I was like, okay, pick 5 topics or characteristics about yourself that you want people to know about, and expand on it. Okay, we all know that part, but man, how do you just, when you're just feeling like crud that day, how do you not just always talk about crud? And when I was developing my content strategy for my blog last year, I did something pretty cool. I took a bunch of, I'm not very like crafty, so I felt kind of cool, but I took a bunch of colorful note cards, and I chose like 4 or 5 different topics that I felt like I could become an expert at. Not an expert like, but I could communicate confidently. Because I can't communicate confidently about a lot of things. Like there's a lot of stuff I don't know about. I'm not going to talk about politics. Like I'm not going to talk about like things that will create perhaps confrontation, but I do want to talk about my son and the uniqueness there. I wanted to talk about my childhood growing up and how that defined me. I wanted to talk about my faith. I wanted to talk about real life woman issues like mental, like insecurity, wall kind of things. And so I started Googling. I went to Google a best friend, and I found out that people are very much attracted to simple steps for solutions. Like if somebody's looking for, you know, a weight loss program, they're much more likely to click on or to read something that says 5 steps to losing 2 pounds this week because you're drinking more water, instead of weight loss tip for the week. And you have like 14 paragraphs. Like having very specific, not necessarily titles, but I went through and I Googled what do people want to know? What is the number one thing people search? You know, what do women search? What do moms search? What do moms want to know? What do, does that make sense? I don't know. I was just trying to think outside of the box and let all the data that Google has to feed my ideas and my content. I kind of, you know, your typical Transformation Tuesday, Throwback Thursday, Sunday coach post. But more than that, what kind of value do you want to add, Jessica?
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't really know, I guess. I guess I have to think about that, because I know, like, I've sprinkled in my story a little bit here and there, because I've talked about my depression and anxiety. So I guess that's kind of like mental health. And then I'm just now starting to get into talking about faith, because for so long I was like, that's too touchy. I don't want to shut people out. But now I'm like realizing the people that don't like me because of faith are not my people anyway. So I have no idea why I'm trying to market to them or care if they unfriend me. So I guess that too. And then just in food, because I love to cook. So there's that. And then just my family, kids stuff. I've had a lot of people ask me about, like, I see your baby eating all the time. What do you feed him? Because people get really nervous about feeding their babies when they don't have teeth.
Yeah. So her too.
Teach me.
Yeah. Baby-led weaning. It's wonderful. If done safely.
Stop it. Does anyone else have suggestions on like how they get creative to post valuable things? The whole idea of value added post blew my mind. And when people said that, when I was a new coach, I was like, I don't know what that means. I say new coach, probably up until last year. I was like, I don't even know what that means. Now I kind of see it as like a deposit and withdrawal approach to your social media. Like, are you depositing something of value, positive, or knowledge, or when they read it, what do they gain? Like, what do you want your audience to feel through that post? Is it just to feel silly, to lighten up the mood? Is it to feel like connected with you because you just shared something vulnerable? Like, is it going to bring out their empathy? That's fine too. Or do you want them to feel compelled to take action of some sort? So I feel like the idea of adding value is not necessarily, I'm going to go research a topic, or let's say I'm going to go research all the ingredients in Shakeology and post all about them. That might not relate to your audience, because somebody might not care what arugula is, but somebody might care that it helped you not have a heartburn anymore, or like, I don't know. So for me, adding value is basically writing or sharing images in such a way that it makes people feel something. Does that take it to a different level? Like, does that make better sense? Now you guys talk. How can we make our audience feel something, or just expand on that? Like, why do you think it's important for the people who read our stuff feels anything at all about us?
Well, I think it adds to like the trust and like ability. There's another word in there, but just like to help them trust you.
Authenticity.
They feel like they can trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's the authenticity of it, like of you as a person. Like Colleen was saying in the call last night, like you can sit behind a computer all you want, but human experience is human experience. And with your posts and your content, you're really trying to like elicit human experience through a computer screen. And it sounds way more complicated than it is, because we make it way more complicated than it is, I think. I think people can read words and everyone interprets them differently. And so I know for me personally, I've had a lot of good traction with using not other people's words, but more common like phrases, sayings, quotes, and things like that. And then adding my take, my spin, my here and now moment on top of them. And so, I mean, I give you an example, but you can go look at my Facebook wall because that's where they are. But like even like waking up in the mornings, like I think this morning or yesterday morning, like I mean, getting out of bed, it's hard. It's a choice. You know, we make hard choices every day. And so that was literally like the opening line was like, you know, we can make hard choices. And people are like, oh, like, yeah, I make hard choices every day. Like whether that hard choice is them getting out of bed to work out or the fact that they got out of bed at all. And so I think sometimes like we overthink what people are reading or are not reading into our posts, but you have to connect with them on more of a level than like just like, hey, here's a cute sleeping baby, which cute sleeping babies are amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, they are, and they get a lot of traction, but that doesn't make you authentic having a cute sleeping baby. But how you can connect emotionally with another person over what you have to say about that cute sleeping baby is really what's going to make them say like, ah, hey, Chelsea, like, I get you. Like, I feel that too. Like that, you know, those words, they moved me. And so it may not be my words per se, but my take on a popular phrase, saying, or quote, I find that people read that and they're like, oh yeah, I can identify with that saying. Here's what Chelsea's identifying with about it. And then they're like, okay, I get her. And so I know I've had a lot of positive feedback with some of that in my audience and my market. So
Let me ask you a question. Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, I think you make a really good point, and I think I've struggled personally with my back surgery and everything that I've gone through. I don't want people to look at me and say, hey, she's got a back injury, she doesn't work out. Like, that's okay, I don't ever have to work out. Like, I think too much about how people are perceiving what I'm trying to get across in my story without it being like an excuse or I don't know. So you make a good point, and I think that that's probably what hangs me up the most when I'm going to post something. Instead of just posting it and sharing my story, I get hung up on like how it's going to be received. And I think I like the idea of being a little bit more vague, not necessarily vague, but connecting it to maybe not it, you won't relate to it because you have a back injury, but you might, you know what I mean?
yeah, making it a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Making hard choices, tough decisions, health choices, things like that. Absolutely. I mean, you know, getting up and working out is getting up and working out, but it's so many more things on so many other levels. It's not just getting up and working out. It's, you know, how you start your day. It's how your mind, you know, starts. It's how, you know, you kick off the entire 24 hours that you're going to be awake for whatever day of the week it is. And so it's not just about, you know, making the choice to get up and exercise. It's about choosing to do something, you know, for yourself every day in the morning when you first get out of bed. And so you're absolutely right, Ashley, like taking that story and not necessarily making it about your back, but making it about overcoming. You're writing that story, no one else is. So if you want people to perceive it as you're overcoming this thing and like Beachbody's going to help you to overcome this obstacle, that's your story, and write it that way. And you know, you don't have to write it as a, oh, don't look at me differently because I'm not exercising right now.
Which is how I feel.
And it's okay to share that. Like, you know, maybe, I mean, it's okay to kind of poke fun at that insecurity of yourself, because I guarantee you other people are like, oh, I just got over this knee, hip, foot thing. And, you know, that's what's been my excuse, even though maybe I can start.
Mouth.
Huh?
Not to be confused with hand, foot, mouth. I just made a joke that you can use. My bad. Sorry.
I love it.
Not share any more mom jokes.
I understood.
Go on. I wouldn't mean to interrupt you.
That was all I had. I'm good.
Darn it.
Be authentic.
Yeah. What do you guys do when you feel like, you know, like you're going through the day, every single day, the same old, like Groundhog Day, right? Like wake up, do this, raise the kids, figure your life out, try not to freak out, get your work done, cook dinner, eat, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. So I find it a lot easier to post engaging content when I'm like out doing something different or fun or crazy or like traveling. So it's easier because I'm like, oh, this is new. But if we don't have like newness going on that week, how can we keep it fresh and spice it up to keep the energy high on our pace or in our life? Because sometimes maybe we need to step out and have some fresh air instead of groundhogging it every day. Like, what is a new hobby that you could start, or a new interest group that you can join? Like, what is something new that you can bring into your life that would create energy in a new pocket of posts that could also attract new people? I think I heard that from Amy Silverman on her national wake up call a couple of weeks ago. She was like, find a new hobby, like do something cool, talk about it, and you'll attract different people to you. It might be easier to post about. Something that I started doing is I started looking at the trends on Facebook. You guys know the hashtag trends, how to find that? Let's see what's trending right now. Maybe I can't find it. Hold on. West Point, Georgia. Why is West Point, Georgia trending? Hold on. Oh, that's depressing.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah?
Did you find what it is?
What
Yeah, that's
happened?
probably where I live. So,
Oh.
yeah. So,
Well, now I'm depressed.
don't get depressed. We're here.
No, I know. Taylor, Chrissy Brinkley, Santa Clarita Diet. Might be interesting. Jamie Lynn Spears. Anyways, like the Lady Gaga stuff that was going all over the news, like feed into that. I made a post about that today. You know what I mean? Like people, I don't really watch
find
them,
it, Laura?
and I don't keep up with like new trendy things that are happening because I'm in my own little zombie land. But I try to think, oh my gosh, what does everyone else read? Like, what is it so I started talking about, I started watching This Is Us for a business thing, right? Just kidding. And I started talking about it. And I'm going to talk more about that Netflix life. I'm going to start talking more about like the Lady Gaga thing or whatever. Like relate to the world without allowing it to suck you in. But at least like people know that you're in the world. You're not just like in this Beachbody cult. But like, hey, I actually know what's happening on the outside of my computer. Maybe that's a fun little way to communicate some different content.
I was going to ask you where you find it, but I think I found it. Maybe I didn't. Where do you find it? I see a little trending thing on the right side of my, but that's not the hashtags.
Is it the hashtags or is it just the trend?
Yeah, no, that's it. But you can see more, and it'll give you all of them.
Okay.
I think you can also search hashtags. I'm curious. I want to go to all y'all's pages and look at your content, but I don't want to call you out, so I'll do that later. All right, what's another topic that you guys wanted to discuss? Because content marketing is obviously very important for our business to be able to connect with new people, engage with new people, and like keep our lives fresh and fun. Like we don't have to be bland and boring and stagnant, right? Like we want to bring energy to our Facebook or to our social media, to our Instagram. Like, we want to be like somebody who just exudes attraction marketing. Like, you want the law of attraction to work in your favor. And you need to write out like 5 things that describe you, 10 things that describe you, and verbatim, do or die, you just rotate through that list. And at item number 7, when it says share an embarrassing story that happened yesterday, you, by golly, you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm about to make fun of myself. This is going to be so awful and funny and awesome. And you're going to go for it. At number 8, if you have on there that you are going to share a childhood memory, you're going to do it. Like, you're going to dig deep and be raw. At number 9, if you're going to share how much weight you lost that month, and that's going to hold you accountable to get busy, stay accountable to eating the right things. So it doesn't have to be hard, I guess, but just creating the things and not putting pressure on ourselves to like have these like monumental epic posts. Sometimes like you can just write 1 sentence and those work out better than a story. It just depends. Let's see what else. Ashley, do you want to talk about what you wanted to mention? You said you want to talk about challenge groups. You want to ask some questions and kind of open it up for discussion about challenge groups?
Well, Jess and I have, we had kind of grabbed a few ideas from different coaches. I had sat down a little bit with Katie Kramer Stambaugh, because she's like super awesome at her challenge groups. But I guess I've been struggling lately with the app and getting engagement in the app, versus doing the Facebook groups, versus doing a combination. And then I know Ash, I think it was, that talked about doing weekly Zoom calls. So we kind of tried with this group to do an initial Zoom call and get people engaged and get people really pumped up. It didn't work out. We tried it, and I guess what we can say is that we're trying new things. We have a lot of engagement in the group this time around, so I think it's going good, but we're trying some new things. I just didn't know what other people do to get people more involved. I mean, Katie's super creative with her titles and stuff and her themes, and I know she's really adamant about like, fill out this form. If you don't fill out the form, you're not in. Or like, some people are really strict of, if you haven't bought a challenge pack, you're not in the group, and I've been studying a lot of like Melanie Mitro and those type of people, and hearing Melanie in one of her videos say that she started out by borrowing a program from her neighbor in her first challenge group. So she literally never bought anything, and that's how she started. So that, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, like, I don't know. So I'm trying to throw around new ideas, I guess, on how to approach these.
I know for me, I struggle with that too, as far as the app versus Facebook, because it's one more thing, it's one more step. A lot of it is me. Like, I don't like using the app because I personally don't need it to track, because I know if I did something or didn't do something every day, but everyone is not me. I have challengers who have like do or die, like lived in my challenge groups on the app and done better, and I vice versa. And so it's kind of one of those things that the last few months I've tried to do both, incorporate them into the challenge groups. And I know some of my newer coaches are doing the same, and they're actually doing prizes at the end of each week. If you log a perfect week as far as your workouts and your Shakeology, and you updated your measurements on Sunday, they put your name into the drawing, and they've done something very simple like a shaker cup, or like a couple packets of Energize, or a $10 like fitness tank off of Amazon, or something very like personal, but not necessarily like off the wall outlandish.
Yeah, no, free stuff is great.
Engagement stuff goes. As far as group and inclusion, I personally will include any and everyone as long as they have something that has Beachbody's name on it and they are my personal customer. I'm not going to turn somebody away if they bought size 8 months ago and, you know, they really want to be a part of a community and learn how to take care of themselves, because a lot of the times I can turn that into a residual Shakeology order when they can't afford it, or they end up buying a new challenge pack from me 2 months later to get a new program or something down the road.
Now,
Because I build value into them, but really I'm instilling value into my group, and that happens to include them. So it's really not any extra time for me to, you know, motivate them, because I'm already doing it for all of those other people as well.
yeah, I mean, I started adding people back in August, even if they would do 30 days on demand for free. And at first I was like, I'm not really seeing anything from it. And you would be surprised, because today I had somebody buy the Country Heat Kickstart Challenge Pack with a 3-day refresh, and all she was a free 30-day on-demand challenger back in August. And she never even would participated in the challenge group. But now, maybe it's because I'm posting more, she just, bam, wanted the challenge pack. So that's why I'm just kind of getting this, like, feeling like I don't want to give, you know, you don't want to give the milk away for free, but, you know, some of these people, as long as they're willing to, like, sign up and put a little effort forth to sign up for the on-demand or something, I don't know. It proved right today.
You have to do what feels right for you. And I mean, what felt right to you 3 months ago might be different than today, might be different 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Is somebody speaking Spanish?
Oh, no. My husband's watching Westerns.
Same. I misunderstood.
It's probably Spanish.
I speak zero Spanish, but I hear it. My son calls it spinach. I think. He's like, what is? He wanted to know today what the word "but" was in Spanish.
Are they speaking Spanish?
And I said, I don't know what bottom is in Spanish. I didn't say bottom. I said butt. And I was like, we don't say butt. And he was like, no, I'm not. I just want to know what butt is in Spanish. And I'm like, you little turd. So, anyways, more stuff about challenge groups. I kind of feel like this is our bread and butter. Like, there's so much. I mean, this business is like baking a cake. Like, you can't bake a cake without the eggs and the flour and the, you know, the baking powder. I've never baked a cake, so I don't know. I don't know how to make a cake. Jessica can tell us how to bake a cake. But the point is, there's a lot of different ingredients. And you can't just have a challenge group without you posting. You can't just have you posting without you inviting. You can't just invite without you having a support thing. So, like, you have to have so many spinning things at the same time to have the well pumping. So challenge group is a really big part of that, to actually follow through with the promise you made to support people who are going to join you. So how about this? Every single one of you, I want us to each share one thing that has ever worked very well in our challenge groups, and without insulting yourself, without saying, well, my challenge groups suck, without saying, well, blah, blah, blah. None of that. Let's, like, speak truth and excitement and energy into our challenge groups, because I feel like we have to believe in them and that they're effective. And if we don't believe that they're going to be offering support to our people, because you're like, just another day, just another month, everyone's going to crap out on me like they do every month. Well, of course they are, because they can read your mind. So you get excited about your challenge group. You set a crazy, intense, like, makes you want to vomit goal for you personally with your eating and your health. And I bet you that they are going to follow suit, because you're going to be so on point in your groups. That's when my groups are the best, is when I'm, like, literally in there every day, like, grinding it out, saying, I am sweating and dying right now. That was mine. So now somebody else go.
I'll go. For me, recently, works really well. Am I still echoing? Am I done? Okay. What I found that works really well for me is using the photo albums to upload recipes. Like, I don't, if you guys follow my posts or anything like that, I post at least once or twice a week, like a recipe, like that I make at home and stuff like that. But I will take them and literally when my challenge group opens, I will upload like an album called meal plans and a bunch of sample meal plans like that have the calorie bracket breakdowns, and then an album that says recipes, and just post a ton of like dinner recipes, breakfast recipes, stuff in there that's, you know, people can look at, that's everyday stuff, that's not like oh, let me go buy 27 rare ingredients to, you know, throw this together. But literally most of them are things that you were already going to buy with your grocery list, or, you know, just the simple everyday stuff that's even like family friendly and kid friendly. Because a lot of like my challengers are like, well, what am I going to feed my kids? Like, I'm not making 2 meals kind of thing. So that's been really helpful, because then when I do talk to them about meal prepping and stuff like that, I always tell people, pick what you want for dinner every night of the week and then work backwards. And so having all of those recipes in there, they're like, okay, this week I'm going to try this, this, and this, and then our family favorites of these ones. And then we kind of work backwards from there. So for me, that's been a huge like shift the last couple months in my challenge groups, is being able to offer, instead of like, here's a link to all these recipes, like go to Pinterest and, you know, Pinterest it out, like having it in the group, because people communicate and they, you know, they write comments on there, and then they're like, oh, look, 7 of us made these same, you know, muffins for breakfast. And they're like, look how mine turned out. And someone's like, oh, how'd you do that? Mine looked like crap. You know, and then there's more engagement because they're talking about something that's in the group, instead of like, oh, I found it on Pinterest somewhere or something, or I don't remember which recipe that was, kind of thing.
And to you got me now? Okay. I jumped into Carrie's group one time because she is like challenge group queen to me, and I saw where she was, she would post on there as far as the containers when you're like what's in the red container and that type of stuff. And then she had mentioned like giving away prizes if they engaged in that type of stuff. And when I did my challenge group kind of on her format, it really did go good. And that was probably my most successful challenge group. Had a lot of people actually post like, you know, said a great time and great results and that type of thing. But this last one, the one that I'm actually doing now, we incorporated a Bible study with the book Uninvited. And when I even posted that that's what I was going to do, I had people messaging me immediately that were already customers that had dropped out of challenge groups for the holidays, but they were messaging me and saying, hey, yes, I want to jump in. Can I be in this challenge group? And so far, so good. We're just in day 2, but we've had a lot of engagement. We're still doing the fitness part, still expect the workout, still expect, you know, eating and that type of stuff. But, and they're communicating on that, but the Bible study is just really bringing everything together, because it's just a group of ladies that are really struggling with rejection and that type of thing, defining. And so that's what we're going off of now. So everybody seems really, really engaged and wanting to do good. So, and I actually have people that tell me that they have to have the app or they can't do the group. So I've got like 3 people that I've got to have the app to track. And so I always open up the app too.
Something that has gone well in the past is we used to team people up in the challenge group, like pick a buddy. And then we'd have, so like 1 week it would be everyone has a buddy and they're working as teams. And then like the next week it would be, we'd split the group half and half. And then it was like just like a 2-team competition against each other. And then like the next week after that, we would have it all individual. So then it's every man for themselves kind of thing, like, and to earn prizes and stuff like that. It just kept it like different and on their toes.
Water Wednesday is always my favorite. We get a lot of people. I think it was actually Lisa who first started it. But it was basically every time you pump the water, and every time you go to the bathroom, you do squats. And whoever did the most squats that day would get like a prize, something stupid. So that honestly sounds like a little thing, but gets people really pumped for some reason. And then they'd have to take a bathroom selfie.
If you think about it, I mean, this is like their first experience. I try to get back to like phase one. I think a healthy part for a coach is to always, no matter where you are in the business, to remember what it feels like in phase one, to remember what it feels like as a new coach on day one, remember what it feels like as a new challenger on day one, and live there so you can relate and connect, but live there with your new wisdom, like with your new experience and leadership. But that's a really fun way to break the ice. And you might be like, this is so silly. Last time I tried this, it didn't work. But who cares? Like, go for it. I like that. And I don't care about awkward silence, so we'll be quiet until everyone talks.
Okay, I'll go. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Well, like a lot of you guys know, my challenge groups are very active. I know that some people think that posting too much, maybe not the best option. Maybe it gets a little overwhelming. For me, it's just what comes naturally to me, I guess. And I wouldn't necessarily say I post often, but I would definitely say I post at least more than one time per day. And I think that for me, it's because I want the challengers to know that I'm also a challenger. Like I'm in the dirt with you guys. I'm waking up at 5 o'clock. I'm drinking my Energize. I'm doing my workout. Like as far as they're concerned, yes, I'm a coach, but I'm a challenger too. So I think that makes me more relatable. So I think that, and just posting one boilerplate template, or something like that, like per day, it just to me doesn't seem as engaging. And I think that the way I do it, like I kind of, and a lot of times I do it, and I don't know how everyone else does it, but I do it by like the vibe of the group. So I do have a template that I follow, but it changes, and I sometimes don't even look at it because it's kind of like I can tell when people need like that motivational quote and say, hey guys, I need you to check in right now. Like who's still with me? Who's doing it? And I really think that really helps people. I guess I just don't care. I don't really think about like, oh, is this too much or is this too, it's kind of just what feels right. Like what I think, like what I kind of get the feel of the vibe from people. So for me, it's just multiple posts, but again, it's not like 5 or 10 or like, trying to pull teeth from everybody. It just kind of feels like natural. And I feel like we're all kind of in it together. So I kind of do like a different kind of a challenge every day. So like Renee said, like sometimes I'll say, hey, everyone share what's in your red container today. And if you share for the next 2 days, like what are you using your yellow container for today? Or what are you using your teaspoons for today? It's just something fun. Everybody can answer that. There's no pressure. There's nothing. It's just an easy something like that'll just like get everybody engaged. Maybe the next day, or like for this week, for instance, or last week, we said, post your Shakeology picture, recipe, or a happy selfie with your Shakeology, and those different points for each thing. And by Sunday, I do a ballot, and I say, okay, this person won, and it's exciting. I send a couple packets of Shakeology and Energize, something, and a handwritten note, and people love that. And it's just, I don't know what it is, but people are like, that was so cool that you actually sent the note. And it's kind of like, and sometimes it's not even necessarily my challenger, it's one of my coaches' challengers, but that's fine, because by the end of it, we kind of all feel like we're friends and stuff like that. Another thing that I've been doing once a week is post your non-scale victory. And I think people really look forward to that too. Even if it's, hey, you know what, I lifted weights. I used a 5-pound weight today. It's just anything that and again, it's kind of like going by the vibe of the group. So I think, sometimes it's just if I get a vibe for people wanting to see more recipes or wanting to see, more water drinking, whatever it is, it's more just kind of like, I kind of definitely feel like from the vibe of the group. So for me, I just think that engaging a lot and kind of just really not using, like really focusing on how people are responding and what's working, because I think each group is different and different groups react differently to different contests or different posts or things like that. So to me, I kind of like just make sure that I always, and I think Laura knows this, my focus is always on the challenge groups. It's always going to be. I'm definitely wanting to expand the business and things like that, but I definitely don't lose sight of what's really important and what's going to really build the business, which is the challenge groups. So to me, that's where I'm. And some days my head goes, okay, coaching. I got to get the coaches going, but I always make sure that the challenge groups is always going to be my number one priority, because I think that's the only way that your business is going to continue to run. And that's what's going to make other people tell people about the challenge group. And that's really the word of mouth, and the referrals is really a big part of my business personally. So that's just something, that's my input there.
I'll talk for a second. I don't actually feel like I have anything new to add, but I feel like I've been overthinking my groups a little bit, and then hearing what everybody else has said in the last few minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm doing those things. So it made me feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. So this month with my group that just started yesterday, I'm starting to do some more of the prize kind of things and hoping people will engage. I have a few more people this month than I did last month. And so last month my group was really good because it was a really small group of us. So everybody stayed really engaged throughout, which was really cool. And so this one getting a little bigger, I wanted to add a little bit more in hopes that people would stay engaged throughout. So I'm doing that. And so far I've been doing just doing stuff that people will have to just give an input. Like today, it was like just share a recipe. And then I said, I'm going to do this every Tuesday. So between now and next Tuesday, make something to share next Tuesday. So just kind of like trying to encourage that kind of thing. And the other thing I was going to say is what Carrie was saying, like just really help, like letting them see that I'm doing this with them. That's like been something that I noticed last month was huge with the girls that I was leading. Like I just was letting them know every single day, like I am 100% in this with you. So I think those are the things that I find are so far working for me and my group. I don't have anything new though, so maybe I'll try to think of something new and creative to do in the future.
I think in the last one, or Leanne, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. So pretty much what we do in our challenge groups right now for the last few months, I've been co-leading with Erin. So that's kind of beneficial because we have personalities that are similar, but two different personalities at the same time. So sometimes the bonus of that is that if she's very soft and southern and people love that personality, and then sometimes I'll call people out. So you can connect differently with different challengers. So that's beneficial for our groups. So it keeps them engaged. So we rotate weeks. So sometimes we feel like when you have the same challengers over and over and over again, the content kind of gets repeated. This way it kind of breaks it up. And a big thing in our groups are live videos. So we try to do like every other day or a few times a week where we'll do like a live feed or a Zoom workout we've been doing. So like maybe a Wednesday morning we'll do a Zoom, and then the next week we'll do a Wednesday evening. So that way people that are on maternity leave or people that, are stay-at-home moms or people that are working, they can come and do that. And then we are going to try to do what Ashley Brockington was saying about doing a Zoom calls on Sundays. Just have people come in. We really find when you are doing the live feeds and live Zooms that people are more connected than just reading a post every day. So that's what we've been doing in our groups.
Really quick, I think we have Leanne might be the last person, but so how often do you guys go live? Not necessarily just for workouts, or is that all you do when you go live? Is like
No. So I would say we go live quite a bit. I went live so we started our group on Monday. So I went live Monday. Erin went live today and yesterday. I would say probably go live once a day. So whether it's me or her going live, sometimes we'll do multiple lives, right? So I woke up this morning and I was like, okay guys, like here's what I made for breakfast. What did you guys do? And I didn't even read her post, and her post for the call to action was to post a meal. So sometimes you just jump in, kind of like what Carrie said, right? Like whatever spur of the moment or what's going on, you kind of post about it. And because I'm so busy, all my lives are like pretty much in the car. So people always will joke about that, but it's like me doing a live video driving or picking somebody up, but that's just real life, right? Like it's harder for me to type it all out than it is just to go live.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. Okay, awesome. I think I need to up my live in my groups, because that would keep me accountable to like connect with it. I mean, I love my groups, but connect with people with like how the vibe is and speak into them what they need to hear that day.
Yeah, and for me, I've been using the live in my groups to honestly, it's me like practicing for like just getting used to doing that, because I'm terrified to go live on my actual Facebook. And so I'm almost using it to get myself used to just being in front of a camera, like live, not pre-recorded kind of thing.
Now you can't go live in the challenge app, right? So you guys are doing you're doing it in the Facebook. How do you, I guess my question is, how do you balance that? Do you,
I'm doing
where are you
both.
posting?
So Erin doesn't like the app, and so our goal is to comment so anybody that comments is to comment back. So I take full responsibility of the Challenger app. So everybody that comments on there or posts, I'll comment back. And then she takes full responsibility of the Facebook post. Doesn't mean that I won't jump in on the Facebook post, but that way, no matter what, both people are covered. Because we have a lot of challengers that only want the app, and then a lot that only want Facebook. So to not lose both, we just run them both, and then we divide it. So that way, no matter what, everybody's being covered. But we don't do live feeds. Like the app is really just for tracking, and then we'll comment on people's pictures or whatever. Okay. And then I do a quote per day on there.
So you're not doing actual posts or tips or assignments or anything in the app. You're doing that only on the Facebook side.
I do like a motivational quote. So like never skip a Monday, or like maybe I'll do something like on like today I did like just like a quote, like an inspirational quote, but not like the call to action. We do it all on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't mean that everybody's going to participate, right? Like if they don't have Facebook or they choose not to, then they just aren't involved in the prizes. Our prizes are always giveaways on Facebook.
Real quick, there actually is a workaround on how you can go live on the app, and this is a discussion that I had with Keyshawn Graves at Super Saturday, is that a lot of people now are using YouTube Live as a way to go live. And I mean, it is, you have to get creative, but what you're able to do is ahead of time post your link, just your regular like YouTube link, YouTube channel, and say, hey guys, in 10 minutes, like click here, I'm gonna be live. And so what can happen is they can, you can post that and your video will show up, like you will be live for them on that YouTube channel. I know I've never done that because I just felt like that was too much work. But some people who exclusively use the app, that was their way to still feel in real life person. No pressure, Leanne, but you're next.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm kind of new, so I don't want to say I don't have anything to add, but this is just my second challenge group co-leading with Natalie. I did the health vet in January, so we started our second one yesterday. And so far, I mean, I've been doing some videos, just kind of showing people that I'm accountable myself, doing my workouts. And Natalie and I kind of take turns posting recipes and tips and tricks. So, but I'm kind of bummed at the participation. So I'm kind of taking notes and getting all your ideas, because we did like on the first day, we did kind of like a roll call, like everybody introduce yourself, because some of my challengers didn't know hers, but you just have some people, it's like pulling teeth to get them involved. So, but I'll learn as I go.
Awesome. No, I mean, but you've been in groups before. So when
Yeah.
you've been in groups, what is like your fondest memory? How did you feel connected in groups?
Just things that we could all kind of participate in. Um, I like when there's a call to action, like, and I was actually thinking about that earlier when y'all were talking, is when there's a post, but you leave them with something to do. So I probably need to do more of that, like, posting a recipe or a tip or trick, but then leaving, them to follow up somehow or comment or share something so that they get more involved.
So like, in a conversation, like when you're in a group or a new event, does anybody in here get like socially awkward at like events or like get-togethers where you don't really know a lot of people? Raise your hand if you've ever been the socially awkward person. Jessica said, I'm never awkward. I'm awesome. I agree. You are awesome. I feel awkward a lot of times. I tell my husband all the time, like, I don't know if I would have friends without you. I don't know. I'm not really a cool girl. Like, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, do my hands kind of girl, right? So I feel like when you have a call to action, it invites them into a conversation just like you would at a party, like walking up to somebody and be like, it was so glad to see you here. You're going to be like, but if you're like, well, how are you today? What do you do for a living? You're like inviting them into a conversation, giving them permission to participate so they don't have to stand around and be like, well, what do I do now? Do I have to sit in the corner? Do I not have any friends? So. That's it. How do you feel? That felt good. Okay. No, for real. I hope that this was valuable just to mastermind it out. Talked about content marketing, talked about some wins for the week, talked about challenge groups, lots of good stuff, lots of good ideas. I hope that February our challenge groups are amazing. I hope that your Team Cup teams are amazing and that you guys just continue to pump the well. Like Chelsea was saying, like if you miss a day of your work, the next day you're going to have to pump it up double time to get that momentum going, okay? It matters. Like today matters, February matters. If you spend 20 seconds on Carl Deichler's page, you know that he is 100% obsessed with the month of February. Like you're going to be like, I know, I get it. February, I get it. But he speaks so much truth into that because this is like the volume month, like the defining month. Now, it's not to say that if this month doesn't blow up, like your personal records out of the water, that the rest of your year is doomed. No. That's not how you grow a crop. How you grow a crop is you till the land and then you poke little holes in the ground and then you put the seeds in there and you cover it back up and then you water and you shine light on it over and over and over with more water and over and over and over. And while you're doing that, what are you doing? You're going to the next plot of land. You're tilling it. You're poking little holes, putting little seeds over and over and over. Okay, so February is a huge month where what we're doing is we're watering the seeds that have come to us over the past year and said, I'm ready, just not right now. Or people in January, December who said, I really want to lose weight. I'm going to try this on my own. I'm going to save up. I can't afford it. Well, now is when they need you more than ever. So invite them into your life. Invite them in to a part of what you're doing because you don't want them to be the socially awkward person at the party, right? Like you don't want them to stand around and be like, well, I don't really know. That looks kind of fun, but maybe that's not for people like me. Maybe that's only for people who are outgoing. No, you let them know I'm looking for you. Like when you message people, be like, you are the exact person I've been waiting to talk to. You are the exact person who needs to be in my group for this reason. You're awesome. You're so easy to talk to. You're so nice. I need your kind of energy. Like I need your positivity. I need your personality in this challenge group to encourage other people. Would you consider joining me? Then all of a sudden they're going to be like, I did not know I was so awesome. Can you please give me some more of that happy juice? And they're just going to be coming back begging for more. So you tell these women that you want to help them. You want to connect with them. You want to plug them into the group, not just because you're trying to sell a challenge pack, but because you want to click something in their brain that they're valuable, that they're worthy, that you'll get the satisfaction knowing that you're helping them, helping everybody, and kumbaya, I get it. But it just, it matters, like how you make people feel. So be generous with your compliments this month. Be generous with the amount of people that you're talking to this month, and then duplicate that down into your teams, because the people on this call are the leaders of Moxie. And it's not because we perhaps all have been here the longest. A lot of us have been here a long time, but there's a lot of people not on this call or not in this group, in this exclusive Moxie focus group, who've been a coach longer and who maybe have had a higher rank, but they're not on this call. You are in this group because you are the current wave and current leaders of Moxie for a reason, because you are the ones who are proactively, currently, in this season of our growth in our team, helping new customers every single month. And for that reason, I want to invest in you. For that reason, I want to show up and love on you guys and serve you guys. I'm here to serve everybody. But you guys are the folks, are the movers and the groovers and the doers right now, helping new people. So just keep doing that. Keep doing that. And I promise you the duplication will come to your teams and you'll see it in your paychecks eventually. Patience, grasshoppers. Patience. All right. I had spit in my mouth and that was gross. So that was my awkwardness. I'm done for the night. You guys have a good night. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you, Laura. Bye.